Before you buy Green Hell VR, you really need to understand the major differences between the PC version and the Quest 2 version. Hi guys, my name is Tony and welcome back to Jackal Dude Gaming. Here, I like to have fun in VR, but I love helping you have fun there too. Now, a while ago, I got access to Green Hell VR shortly before its release on the Quest 2. And to be honest, I didn't make a review on the Quest 2 version because I really didn't enjoy my time in it. And I don't like to make videos of games just to bash them. That's just a personal choice of mine, and if you see a video reviewed on my channel, it's because I really enjoyed it and I want to share it with you. So why am I making a video now? Well, they also sent me early access to the PCVR version, and I decided to give it another chance, and I had a whole lot of fun in the PCVR version. I originally thought may completely overhauled a lot of the mechanics of the game, but then I went back to the Quest 2 version and find out that they didn't. See, it's weird. Normally, when you see that there is a VR game for both Steam and the Quest 2, usually the only difference you'll find is graphic quality or texture density. Green Hell VR isn't the case. Green Hell VR started as a flat game and gradually moved their way into VR, and a lot of the things they've transferred into VR work really well. But it seems like they couldn't take all of those things and make them VR capable for the Quest 2 version. Now, I completely understand me liking the PC version a lot more than the Quest version is mostly just my opinion. But that's why in this video, I want to tell you the three major differences between the PC version and the Quest 2 version, so you can decide which is better for you. And even if you don't have access to PCVR yet, I would still watch this video so you know if some of the things they took out is game breaking or not to you. First, we're going to talk about item crafting. Now, item crafting in the PC version works very familiar to a lot of other survival games you may have played. You pop your journal off from your chest, you click the icon for a crafting table. You can place the crafting table wherever it fits, and it doesn't consume or require any materials. From there, you would place materials on top of the rock, and if those materials were made to make an item, the highlighted image of that item would hover above the table. You would reach out, hold the grip button, and you would build the item right there in your hands. Easy, effective, nothing groundbreaking, but familiar. Now, the Quest 2 version of crafting something works very differently. One being you don't have to put a crafting table down. More so, you can't put a crafting table down. There's no option for it. Instead, what they want you to do is build things with your hands. For example, if you put a regular stick and a rock on top of the crafting table, you could make a very simple axe. You can do the same thing in the Quest 2 version, but instead you would hold the stick in one hand, hold the rock in the other hand, hold down both the triggers until you see this green highlighted area and just press the rock into the stick. And then there you have an axe. Now, while this might seem a little more intuitive and a little more immersive, it just seemed a little clunky and a waste of time, especially because you need both of your hands. And you might not think that's a huge deal until you start playing this game at night, where light is very important. You can't do much of anything without light unless you are in an open spot and there happens to be a lot of moonlight. Carrying a torch with you is usually very important. So if you're carrying a torch with one hand, you drop the torch, it'll go out. It's really hard to build things with your hands if you constantly have to hold a torch. Now, for an axe where you just shove a rock into a stick, that doesn't seem like it's complicated. But when you get into more intricate things like a stone spear, for instance, first you need sharp rocks. You take two rocks and you slam them together until they turn into sharp rocks. And then you have to take a long stick, which can't be in your inventory, so you probably need to cut one down or find one. And then you have to whittle the tip of it until it turns into a sharp stick. Now, again, that's a really cool immersive mechanic that sounds really cool. And it is. But the amount of time it takes really outlasts the novelty of it. But after you make a sharp weak spear, you then have to find rope. So you have to put the weak spear down, and then you have to get rope, and you have to wrap rope around the stone. And then you can grab your spear and slowly hold the triggers and put both of the stone wrapped in rope on the spear to now finally make a stone spear. While on the PC version, if you were to make a similar object, you would just have to take a sharp rock, some rope, and a normal stick, putting on the crafting table, and then you get a pickaxe. And you can do all of that while still holding a torch. Now, it's not just crafting they made more complicated on the Quest 2 version, but it's also building they made more complicated. Now, when you're building something in the PC version, it definitely takes a lot more materials than it does in the Quest version. When you're building a small shelter, which you need to do because in this game, to be able to save your progress, you need to build some sort of shelter. Very similar to the crafting table, you would go into your journal, find the shelter, put a highlighted version of that onto a ground where it fits, and then you can start building it. The quest version, it takes a bunch of sticks, like 12 palm leaves, and just a significant more amount of materials. But all you have to do is go find them, throw them in your backpack, or even just throw them onto the highlighted version of it, and it will start to build itself. Maybe not the most versive way to do it, but efficient. Now, again, the Quest 2 version has that same shelter, and it uses a lot less material, only using 4 palm leaves, 3 long sticks, and some rope. So again, you would think this would be much faster, but it isn't. Not only do you need to place the long sticks in the very specific location, but you also then need to get a rock with your other hand and nail it down. And sometimes the length of the stick doesn't match the highlighted area it needs to fit into, so it just gets really awkward and clunky, and it takes a lot of time. You then put all the sticks in place, you wrap the joint with rope, and then you specifically place the leaves where they need to be. But again, this process, even though uses less materials, takes a lot more time and makes you use more hands. And then it gets even faster on the PC version when you take into how well the backpack inventory system works. Now let me start by saying that the backpack inventory, kind of in both games, is probably the best inventory system I have used in a VR game to date. That being said, the PC version is still significantly better than the Quest version. PC backpack has different compartments for your materials, your food, and then different pouches for tools, weapons, and most importantly, your sticks. Sticks you use for a lot of things in this game. But in the PC version, you actually can hold your own little separate slot and inventory of sticks towards the top of the backpack. Now, not only does it make it faster because you always know where your sticks are and you can grab it from one continuous location, but they also have a feature that if the sticks are in your backpack and you hover your hand over the highlighted structure you're trying to build, you can just hit the triggers and automatically place the sticks in the locations you want them to, as long as they're in your inventory, which makes this whole process a lot quicker. Now, unfortunately, in the Quest 2 version, not only do you not have this mechanic, which I don't understand why, but you can't automatically put them in place, and they don't share a central location in your backpack. Quest 2 backpack is definitely a little more dumbed down, which makes complete sense. I know they had to do a lot of different things to be able to get this game onto the Quest 2 natively. But one of the worst things about it is the sticks don't have a central location, and they each take up a whole inventory slot, so they don't even stack on top of each other. They also are only in there in the order you put them in. So as you're collecting different things, and now you need a bunch of sticks to make a fire or shelter, you now have to tediously go through different tabs, find the stick you need, put it in around the exact location, and then go through your tabs again. This ends up being super slow, even if the structure in the PC version uses twice as many sticks as the Quest 2 version. This extra immersion mechanics that they try to push on the Quest 2 version seems to kind of fight itself. Spending more time building simple structures kind of defeats the whole purpose of surviving, where you're constantly losing macros and water and energy. Now, with all that said, the team did also provide me with a list of a lot of bugs that can still happen in the game, and the fact that they're still working on them all. On top of that, a lot of the features I really like on the PC version are newer features to the game. So that tells me that they'd eventually really like to put some of these features onto the Quest 2 version. I have to say, every time I've touched this game, it's gotten significantly better. So I am very convinced in the fact that this game is only going to get better the longer it goes on. So that being said, if you wanted to pick up this game today, I would suggest you picking it up on Steam first. That being said, if you are a survival nut, really like survival games, this really is the game for you. Not only does it probably tackle survival mechanics better than any other VR game, but it has a lot of content. They say that the storyline content is anywhere from 5 to 10 hours, but I think if you are trying to survive properly and building up a safe location, you could spend a lot more time than that in this game. This game does have a lot to offer and does a lot of really cool things. If you would like to see guides or playthroughs of this game, please let me know in the comments below, because I would honestly be really excited to do them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so I can show you more videos in the future. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.